Greetings, folks. Ty McVetti here with Bad Toad Games, and hopefully we are successfully streaming on two different platforms at the same time right now, on
Hopefully.
Twitch and X. So if you're seeing this on X, thanks for coming out. If you're seeing this on Twitch, well, you've always known where to find us. You're not special.
Yeah.
So this evening, our stream here is going to be a little bit different, and yeah, forgive me for my rudeness. As always, the Iron Dwarf is with me,
hmm
and I am
Yep.
with
The Iron
him.
Dwarf is having technical issues. So he has a new mic, but it is not functioning properly. So he's using the old mic in the same way.
Yep, and then I have a new mic, and hopefully, well, that was annoying. Hopefully, hey, Beardo Bob, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming out. Where are you joining us from? Twitch. All right, I see that now. I'm starting to be able to see how this works. It's a new thing. We're using Restream, I think is what it's called. So, trying to get used to the new setup. First time using it. So, thanks for joining us. But this evening, instead of playing a game, we're actually going to be talking a lot about Mercs, Mages, and Monsters, which is our TTRPG that we've been working on. So we're going to dive in on that. First, by showing you guys this fantastic map that y'all can see here, which is Yogath. This is the world of Mercs, Mages, and Monsters right here.
Is the map? Maybe it's just me. Let me refresh. I see no map.
You see
Oh, it was just me. I'm on the Discord. Saw you guys. We're gonna do a stream. Excellent. Good. Way to follow the Discord prompts.
There you go. See, that's we
It
like
works.
people like you. That's the way it should be. So this is the which actually, if I'm not mistaken, you have a copy of the guide in its current form. So most of this you've already seen. This is just a slightly better picture of it. So a lot of this and all of it, the players will have access to. And we have backstories for all of these fine settlements. We're going to have nice artwork, skyline type stuff for them as well, which is super exciting to go with the prompts. And if you follow us on Twitter, you've seen, and on YouTube, you've seen the video we uploaded, actually, talking about, which one was that? That was Freda, I believe,
Yeah, it was Freda.
that we introduced, and that's I want to say it's in the. I couldn't upload it to the Discord because it was too big, but you can
Yeah,
find
I
it on
tried to.
YouTube.
I know. I tried to upload it on. I think it was Blue Sky, and Blue Sky didn't like it either. I had to. It was too big. I had to use the link from YouTube.
Yep. So it's over there on YouTube if you want to see it. I think it's pretty cool. We've got a nice audio track with it as well. It's very exciting. So this is Yogath. Beautiful place, friendly neighbors. It's not like everybody wants to kill you.
That's exactly how.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and up here we have a solid orc territory as you move to the northeast. You've got a lot of elves running around over here, obviously in the Elf Wood and in parts of the Great Wood.
Oh, tell them who did the map.
Oh yeah,
Shout out.
shout out to Feed the Multiverse, correct?
Yeah, that's
Yep,
who did it.
Feed the Multiverse.
I will get a link for her stuff in the
Yep,
chat shortly. She did an awesome job. I
yeah.
think I sent her the one that I worked on. And I was like, do this, but better because I need it better.
and she
She
definitely understood the assignment.
Yeah, Tiffany did awesome. She was
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I can do that.
Yep, and we look forward to getting more maps from her as well, because it's just phenomenal work. It really helps bring it to life when you have a map to look at.
hmm
And so jumping from our map, I'm going to jump over here. So if you've seen this before, this is our community roadmap. So this is the front facing one. You guys actually get to see this. We have a little bit different of one that we look at and panic over. This is the one you guys see. And we've knocked out October, and right now we're in the midst of November here. We actually just knocked out our crafting system refinements, and next week we're going to be kicking our weapons refinements.
Yeah, the weapons refinements will be next week.
Yep. And the crafting system refinement was actually super easy. We just scrapped about half of it. So,
Yeah,
you know, that was,
yeah.
that was the
Super.
logical
It
approach.
was. Yeah, it was super easy. Like you said, we just scrapped half of it. So no big deal there.
Yep. But we think it really brought it down to a better look, and it gave it a better feel, and definitely much more in line with what we're going for. So I think we did a good job there. I'm going to attempt something here.
What are you?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on my video camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, don't worry. He's not as ugly as we make it sound.
No. I'm a handsome gentleman.
I lied. It's worse.
If you believe my wife, I'm a handsome gentleman. So
She loves him very much.
She does. In spite of my beard. But if you see me looking back and forth, if you haven't seen our streams before, I have two monitors. My chat is over on this monitor, and then everything I'm doing is right here. So a smart person would move my camera, but I'm pretty sure the cable's not long enough.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm looking at I found the live stream on X.
Nice.
So it shows that we're doing the thing. I made a post anyway.
Nice.
Because I saw it after I hit the post button, but it's definitely there. So if someone jumps in the chat there, I can see it.
Yep. Same. I this stream setup. I just want to take a second. This stream setup is actually pretty nice. It gives the ability here where I can see who's looking from where. We have another viewer from Twitch. Welcome. Thank you for showing up. I can't see who you are, but I can see that you're there. So we're using Restream, so it's new for us tonight, and it's interesting.
We're trying something a little different.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you're just joining us, we've completed our October step for our roadmap, and we're deep into November now. Next week starting those weapon refinements, and really looking forward to that. Kind of slimming that down some. I think right now we're sitting at with the adjustments we made over the past week, we're sitting at just under 100 pages.
Yep. And yes, Pygmy, this is where all the nerds are at currently.
We're trying to collect them. This is where the cool kids come to hang out.
Yep. There was who else? There was the Dungeon Delver has 183 nerds with him. Wow. So most of the nerds might be over there.
That's
but if you couldn't find your way there, well, right here is where they're at.
But yeah, so we're really excited about the weapons refinements, and the crafting refinement too is really cool. So it's kind of nice to be able to knock that down.
We condensed it down.
And to kind of give a little, this stream is going to be a lot shorter unless there's questions and stuff. But this is going to be a lot shorter of a stream than the normal hour as we kind of cook through some of this.
But yeah, where is it? Yeah, Bob, if you have questions, like if you've looked through the PDF I think we sent you, and you have questions and you just want to shout them out and we haven't answered them in the Discord, all the I don't know, maybe in Norway, but you can feel free to type away. Words hurt, Pygmy. Oh.
Yep.
I was like, who the heck is this bad? Oh, that's us.
That's me.
That's me. I'm that guy.
I'm that guy. It is me. So this is page 1 and 2. Obviously, you can read. I believe in you. Of our thing here, of our core rule book. Kind of a quick just breakdown of our mechanics. We've altered some slightly. I think if you've seen the other stuff, we did away with the DOS and DOF system, degrees of success and degrees of failure. Change those to success level,
levels
and failure level.
Yeah, success level and failure level.
Yep. So it makes it a little bit.
It just made more sense the way we ended up doing it.
Hey, I just did those before the stream. I feel your pain. Nobody
Yeah, I
likes
did
doing
dishes
dishes.
before too. Yeah.
Nobody likes doing dishes. Our modifiers, some of this you guys can't really see. Let me see if I can
Oh, yes,
pull it
because
off to
you
the
can you
side.
make your head smaller?
Ugh, gross. I can do away with it altogether. And that'll actually be the easiest way to do that, so you guys can see that. But yeah, roll under system, 3d8s, and then the other dice obviously with weapons and damage. Um, Easy modifiers, +4 to -4. Um, Knowledge we changed. So whoop, I jumped there. So the knowledge we actually changed. We used to have a knack for lore.
Oh, the Lornak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we did away with it because we started looking at another way to do this for having common, obscure, and hidden knowledge. So it's a much easier way to check. I think that's going to work out really well. I really can't wait to play test this because we haven't had an opportunity to yet, and I'm
Yeah, we
super
did
excited.
some like little light test stuff, but we haven't
Hmm.
tested it in a game, like with actual people running around doing things.
Which that's going to be happening here in December.
Yep.
I know, Bob. That's what
December's a
you're.
busy time for people, but bully
Yeah,
you guys. Oh
you.
yeah, you should. I was gonna say
Yeah,
you're way past your bedtime.
way past your bedtime. You go snooze. You have school. You go learn things so you can help us not be idiots later.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. Um, but yeah, we're going to be starting the playtesting here in December for these new things. I believe we just got to get our schedule together, and we'll be posting that up on the Discord um, for people to like sign up essentially. And we'll do like we did before, which if you haven't been part of our playtests, we essentially just draw from a pool of all the people that are interested that have that hopeful or wishful tester role, which you can easily get it on the Discord. You just have to be verified
I
on
want
the
to make
Discord.
sure. Yeah, that link I just dropped in there. That's for Tiffany Monroe or Feed the Multiverse,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one who did our map.
Well, get out of there. All right, I'm gonna turn that back on. So and then yeah, looking over here at the other stuff, it just kind of goes through it. Earning XP, which we did have. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to doing some playtesting with you since you've been hanging out. Um, I think that'll be good. Um, we did
Yeah, we're
have
always looking for folks to do the honest,
who
feedback. Like if
who
it's bad, let us know,
yeah,
or it feels bad to you, then we mark it down and we're like, yeah, okay, let's look at that.
who was it on that we opened up to and they were making some comments on the share drive about just us kind
Oh,
of describing the great acts
that,
and
yeah, that was, oh, I'm finding it. Hang on.
yep, the
I,
name just slipped my memory for some reason.
I know, I know the YouTube, cause Harrison.
Yeah, and he made a great comment, and we just this isn't the final version. Obviously, this is just 8.06. But we're going to kind of expand a little bit on what we mean by great acts and the great finds, the dice rolls, the role play, and stuff like that. We're going to expand a little bit on that. So our GMs have, a little bit of left and right lateral limits of what they're looking
So I
at.
know what
And
to do. Yeah.
yeah, and
I'll
especially
get
for,
our explanations out of the way more.
yep, and especially for our new GMs, because we want to make this new player friendly. Our new GMs, we want them to have kind of their guide rails, bumper rails. If you ever been bowling, you put up your bumper rails. That's what I mean when I mean left and right lateral limits. It's a military thing. But yeah, so and we're expanding on this stuff a little bit here when we're earning XP and the member progression and stuff like that. So, which we'll be doing with the play tests as well, which is super exciting again for us.
And then didn't Alderdoodle did the page some of the page trim in here, right?
Uh,
I believe she did. She
we
did the links, the because I know
yeah
Frank did
yeah
the stuff at
this
the top, and then
yeah these chain links through here and stuff like that. That was Alderdoodle. And there's some more, a lot of it represented elsewhere as well. But yeah, that's Alderdoodle that did
yeah,
that.
the pages that we're showing off are pretty much just the highlight.
Yeah,
That we were pick and choosing, kind of giving you a grand scope
yeah, we don't
for
want
those that
to
haven't seen it.
give away everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We gotta leave
almost like
something to your imaginations.
yeah,
To tease you with right before the Kickstarter. So you're like, no, no, I need this. I must know more. But yeah, Frank Lima did the this top piece up here, our chapter header stuff. These coin purses down here, which if I can zoom in without it looking like total garbage, you can see get out of there. Is actually got a little bit of blood on the coins and stuff like that because it's Mercs, Mages, and Monsters. You gotta have people killing each other over money. So
yeah, they're
so we
getting.
have that. Back up. Get out of there. All right. There we go.
I gotta find. I have Frank's stuff somewhere too. It'll just take me a little bit to find it, but I'll get it in the chat at some point.
Okay. And then Jace, 100, 125. Let's get back to 100. There we go. Much better. Back that up actually a little bit so y'all can see that just a touch easier. And jumping over here to the next page, we actually have status effects. So these are what can happen, types of things that can happen in combat or outside of combat. If something happens because you've hit a trap or anything like that, that's where some of these come into play. My favorite being the forced amputation.
Oh yeah, yeah. We had to play around with that one too.
Yep. Yeah, we made some adjustments to this when we were looking
It
at our
was
mechanics.
yeah, because when we went on the podcast, there was a question about it, and it we went into the numbers a little bit, and like he pointed out, it was like a 1.6 or something like chance.
Yep.
And we're like, yeah, and then that stuck with me afterwards, and I think I called him up. I'm like, so I've been thinking, and it's always that guy. Every time I do stuff like that, I always think of that dude that it shows the stuff behind him, and he's always like making the connections.
Yep.
I think it's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah. Or he's got all the things up on the board there. Yep.
Yeah, but I basically was like, what if?
Yeah, and we adjusted. That's where we adjusted our Nat 3s as well. So let me back that up. Good lord. So that's where we adjusted. Which isn't. I don't think we actually have that on this page. Is what that is. That's in the combat one. So you'll just have to wait and be amazed and shocked by that one.
Oh yeah, I don't think we have that.
Handoff in desperation.
What was that? What was that?
Said, can't wait to have my goblin mage gnaw his own handoff in desperation.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, I could foresee something like that happening.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. I like the energy.
I will let you know ahead of time. The way magic works in this game, it's basically sign language.
Yep.
Because they're basically changed like some of these ancient runes, like basically God tongue or whatever, into when they spoke things into the world and created them. You can't do that. Your little mortal soul will explode. So they do sign language.
Yep.
So you gnaw one of your little goblin hands off, and well, then you have one less hand. I mean, you can make some gestures, I'm sure. Are they going to be as strong as everyone else? Goblins have other purposes. Don't you worry. You're a multifaceted creature.
They, that goblins are. Burning is also one of my favorites on this too. Is that fire spreads to everything, any flammable surface. The members, NPCs, anybody. So fire is extremely volatile, and we wanted to do it like that because we thought it would be fun.
Yeah, fire is bad. Yeah. One does not want to be on fire, especially in a wicker village.
Yep.
Some wood village, thatched roofs.
Yep.
So for everyone that likes casting the 5e, fireball, you can do something somewhat equivalent to that. It's not going to have the big boom like in that, but it will spread.
Yep.
And everything will die.
Yeah, and people will dislike you greatly.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And then looking here, this is the character creation page. So this is actually the character creation process that all the people go through, which it actually, surprisingly, this process hasn't changed all that much since version 4.
Yeah,
Uh,
since it's the inception version 4, like
yeah,
the kind of since it was basically settled, which is
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah,
We have played with some of the numbers,
yep.
not the listed numbers there, but the numbers in each section, kind of moving it around, trying to figure out the correct number of knacks that folks should start with and things like that.
And the
But
trait points, we adjusted down the trait points from the original of 24 down to 20.
yeah,
Um,
which kind of it does make a difference, believe it or
yeah,
not.
yeah. But I think it makes a good difference.
Yeah,
Uh,
because there was ways you could basically max out a stat like right in the beginning.
my chair made a ominous clanking noise, cluing me in that it's prepping itself to collapse beneath me. Um,
Perfect.
yeah, that'll be great. That's how you get the views. Be on funny
Yep.
sim videos. Um,
Surprise chair poke.
yeah, that's not good for anybody. Hey,
Secret tunnel.
welcome from Twitter or X, excuse me. Again, I can see that we have a viewer. Welcome, thank you for coming and hanging out for a second. But I can't see who you are. So thanks for coming and hanging out.
Yeah, they're being invisible.
I like that. That's okay. That's how you do it. But yeah, we're excited about this part of it, the character creation, and once you get the hang of it, looking at it, it can be kind of intimidating, but once you get to it, it is actually a super easy process. And the way the core rulebook is set up, it just kind of walks you through it, which I think
Yeah,
is
it's supposed to be simple.
yeah, and it's
But did you
it's
imply that wizards throw gang signs to gank people? Yes, that's
yes,
exactly what I said.
that is exactly what we said. Um, we I have it. You know what? We should have pulled that up. Let me see if I can.
Jamie, pull it up on a monitor.
Yeah,
Um,
give me
what
give me a
what are we
second
pulling up?
here. There's that quote in the guide that actually talks about them trying to cast slow fall while they're falling
Oh,
off a cliff.
uh, um,
If you look on it, it's the mage the magic. It goes in it at the introduction to the spells, I think.
I don't know. Without screwing up what you have set up, do you think you could find it?
I could. If you all just bear with me for a moment and stare at this shiny picture in front of me. Um, you know what? Actually, what I'll do is I'll give you guys something else to look at while I do it. There you go. You can stare at that and understand that even Harold gets tired.
He does. And also, I'm pretty sure this is a poster or a shirt. It's a
This
sweatshirt, I think.
this could be anything. We have it on posters. We have it on sweatshirts. We have it the whole nine.
Yep.
So you
So
can you can
that's
get
the
that
thing.
on.
If you're looking for something that's uh still a little Halloween, but you wanted to give it to someone for Christmas, you got this. It's perfect.
All right, let me see here.
Everyone wants one.
Close, get out of there. I'm gonna have to move that out of the way, otherwise you guys are gonna see the whole rule book, and we're not ready for that yet.
Yeah. You see it all. Yeah. Nothing's final.
Nothing's final. It's you get back there.
But
Um,
yeah, everyone's screen capping. Ah, I got it.
yeah,
It's not that. It's
quick,
not that impressive.
quick, entertain them with a joke.
I
Um,
am. I'm over
okay.
here. I'm over here doing
Here, so
linguistic backflips. You can do it.
you're gonna see a little bit more than what we reckoned for. So this is actually part of the spells. So you get to see part of our spells. Main part here though is right here. It took him a lot longer than it should have to realize that casting that slow fall spell at the top of a cliff just after jumping made them excellent target practice for the archers. More concerning was the amount of them that hit the ground full speed trying to cast it with perfect timing. So because you're using your hands, you're trying to slow fall while you're going, and you know, it doesn't. It looks kind of funny as somebody's falling trying to do that, if you can imagine. So,
Yeah.
but I haven't heard it described so elegantly before as Wizards throwing gang signs to gank people. I think that's my new favorite way of
I need to see that in an official review so we can put it in the book. Uh,
yeah,
this
right?
gentleman described it. I love playing a mage. It's as if I'm throwing gang signs to gank people.
Exactly. And we're gonna
5 out
jump
of 5.
down here to so this is you guys are getting a look here at our classes and our specializations. So this dude here is a warrior. He's a dwarf warrior. Um, Big fan of the art here that Hans did for us. Hans,
Radic.
Radic, um, and I love this artwork for it. He does amazing artwork, and I can never just get over how detailed it is. Um,
I mean, we give him descriptions. He nails it.
yeah, every
He's
time.
like, he's like Frank.
Yeah,
We're like, Frank, here's the thing. And then he nails it.
but yeah, this we give a nice description. You know, the way we have it set up is you have a class, and then within each class you have 3 specializations for those. So this one obviously is brigand, soldier, and excuse me, town guard. And as you can see, we do a nice little blurb for it below, just kind of talking about it and what these guys
To kind of
do.
give you a general direction for a play style,
Yeah.
I guess. More or less, that's what we're giving you. Each of them have their own. They get their own talent that kind of goes with the specialization.
Yep.
The knacks, which is our version of skills, are almost the same for them, but it's more or less a play style that you're going for.
Right.
And you can throw a little black backstory in, but it gives you something to build off of.
And that's why we include the nice little blurb too. You know, so that you can kind of get an idea of just how these people are rocking it. You know, so when you think of the soldier, you get an idea of how these guys are, and or your town guard, or obviously your brigand that just wants to use violence. So I like the way we did this. Not to toot our own horn, but I think that's kind of a cool way of doing it. Whoa, and then yep.
So bushwhacker, straight fighter, and detective. Yeah, in it. You know what? We got to start writing some of these
yeah.
names down.
Yeah.
We'll bring you over
Yeah,
when we're big enough. You can have a place at bedtime.
Yeah, that's not an inaccurate way of saying it. They get a little bit more. Yeah, that's not a bad way of saying it. Very rough around the edges.
I like
but
that.
Yeah,
I like bushwhacker.
Yeah,
bushwhacker is awesome.
Yeah, and then you get down to the rogue and the mage. The rogues, the assassin, the deceiver, and the thief. And I think it's interesting. Our deceiver, no real weapon skill to speak of. So this is someone who's just like, you know what? I just want to use my cunning and my my wit to really play through. I'm not trying to kill everybody or stab everybody in the back. I'm just trying to play it.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that. Well, there's a couple of the mage ones that don't start with anything, but I mean, as a weapons skill, like a weapon knack, and all the knacks do in ours is they give them. It mentions it back in the beginning, but it gives them a modifier that just basically makes it so they don't suck. Anybody that lacks a knack, you can basically any character can pretty much try any activity. It doesn't need to be on your character sheet to do it.
Right.
Which and a lot of people, newer players, like to look to their character sheet. So, you can attempt something, but you get a -4 to whatever you're attempting. Yeah. Basically, the knack just means you had training in it.
Yeah.
And so you can try things without training. People do it all the time.
Yep.
It ends poorly, and it ends poorly in our game as well. So I mean, they're basically just like he said, they're masters of their tongue and other more witty sort of maneuvers, but not so much the stabbing or shooting bits.
And magecraft is really the only thing. The magic is the only thing where you have to have training in it, because not everybody can be a mage. Not everybody can. I will say that if you make your character and you're in love with your warrior, and that soldier that's it for you, and you've been playing for a while, and you get through the progression, you'll get to a point. Um,
Snake oil salesman. He's pretty close to a snake oil salesman.
you're not
He's got a
wrong.
little bit of that pizzazz.
Yeah, that razzle dazzle. Um,
Yeah.
and but if you've been playing for a while, you get to a point where you can actually purchase it. It's super expensive, but you can purchase Magecraft as another class other than mage. So our mages start out with it,
Because
but
that's their talent. That's
right.
their assigned talent.
But if you saved up all your XP and you're like, nope, I want it that bad, you could get to the point where you could actually be a rogue or a warrior and have magecraft. So the ability to cast spells as a warrior or a mage.
Yeah, the training to do it. Now, keep in mind the thing that makes mages aside from the training is one, they're usually reasonably intelligent,
Yep.
which is wit, and two, they have a decent number for willpower,
Yep.
which is like their spirit, their essence, like what they roll against when they're casting their magic. And so if you have a average intelligence warrior and you decide to do something and their willpower is a little shaky, there's a good chance he might burn his own soul up and kill himself,
Yep.
or quite possibly murder the party.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
magic is dangerous.
Yep. Our mages, if they fail, because magic is so dangerous, if they fail, they tend to fail on a very large scale. So a mage that just gets that wild hair and is like, you know what, I want to cast a
Master level spell or something like that.
And when they're an apprentice, and they can try it, and if they fail big enough, they could blow themselves up in the whole party.
Yeah, you're basically upcasting at that point,
Yep.
which I think we finalized the stuff on it. I'd have to look at the notes, but I think we
did.
basically it does more, but you start taking penalties, like more damage and more penalties, and the odds of it going very bad increase.
Very much so.
You basically lose control and then death.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then here's just some fantastic artwork. This is a goblin. So
Just another one.
Yeah, this is another one from Hans. This is a goblin rogue? Yeah, this is a goblin rogue. And it's just awesome. It hits the nail on the head.
All the goblin women look like this.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we don't have Bibble in this one, but
no.
We do have the colored image that Hans did of Bibble.
Yeah.
He was our give the man the Bibble voice.
Oh God, I don't know. All right. I apologize in advance.
Bibble is a loved character.
Bibble
next to Squeege, who is also a truly loved and hated character.
I want to preface this that Bibble came out of a game that we were playing. He is a shady salesman that was.
He's a goblin merchant of dubious qualities.
He was pawning off information, and I was voicing him for one of our games. So I apologize in earnest for this voice. I hate you so much.
Oh yeah, good.
Fine wares, fine wares.
It's your wares, fine wares.
Fine wares.
Yeah. So yeah.
He's
there's that.
A truly hated character by me, and he also teleported through somebody at one point.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's right. There was a bad teleportation spell took out an individual that was saved.
Yeah,
it was a good run. It was in one of the playtests.
Yeah, he teleported into that person.
And yeah, they definitely can wear something more than just the protective robes and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, like with the armor, I don't remember if we included all the stuff where it talked about the armor, but the armor does have some downsides to it. The heavier the stuff is, it affects your agility
Yeah.
which means you're going to have a harder time dodging. So,
But
you
you
know,
can
even
take
as
a
a
hit a little
battle,
better.
yeah, and you could take a, yeah, you have the potential to take a hit better. It's a little harder to dodge. Um, but yeah, you should, yeah, I think a lot of different systems try to address it in different ways. And
Yeah.
I think we have one that's a little more similar to Symbarum
I think
in
we
that respect.
yeah, I think it was a reasonable call on our part too. We adjusted it so you can't run around in heavy armor and just
Yeah, just sprinting across the map.
yeah, that's not realistic. You know, so we did it the way we did it. And
I don't know
and
if we have it. I'm pretty sure you sink if you, I don't know if we have it written down, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you sink if you're in, you're not gonna, if you're in heavy plate, you're not swimming. Um,
yeah, that's
like,
common sense
like,
applies
let's
here.
use our common sense.
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be folks from some of the 5e thing. Well, I have, extra strength. You're not swimming in plate.
No, you trust me. I have swam in wearing a flak jacket with front and back sappies in, and even those, I mean, they're only about 10 pounds a piece. That's an extra 20 pounds on your body, plus the flak jacket itself adds another 30. Um, you can do it, but not for very long, and that's 50 pounds. Plate armor weighs 200. No,
And you got to think about the water seeping into your plate armor.
yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
you
yeah, you're basically a nice weight at the bottom.
yeah.
You're making yourself a reef
You're,
for all the fish.
yeah, you're gonna gurgle on your way down. Um, and here on the screen right now we got the apothecary. This is part of the crafting stuff that we actually just completed this week.
Oh
So
yeah,
we did have
absolutely.
flashback to yeah. So we uh, we just uh, we had apothecary and alchemist, and what we did is we kind of smashed them together because we realized we got too much crafting going on. And we actually also did away with blacksmith as well because we had that in there as a crafting skill or a knack that you could have, and we
Yeah,
realized that doesn't make a whole lot of sense either.
yeah, because you're in a guild. Like your guild is gonna have these people, these artisans.
Yep.
I mean, I guess we could, that could be the term. We could just put it as artisans.
Yeah. But for these ones for apothecary and the other one that we kept was artificer.
Yeah,
Those it made sense for you to have within your party because being able to make potions and stuff like that for healing or for buffs or poisons, that having that with you, that made sense. And then
yeah,
having your mage doodle some stuff on your weapon so it's a little bit stronger. We could get behind that too.
yeah. There's like the small like travel version of what they can do.
Yep.
Um, I think it's the apprentice level stuff you can basically do on the fly.
Yep.
And but anything big like the journeyman or master level stuff, where you're thinking of these dudes in labs
Yeah.
cranking stuff out,
And that's
uh,
yeah. Right. We have
gonna
right
be a
here.
bit harder.
You have a travel kit, that you can take with you for your apprentice level stuff. But yeah, you got to go back to your guild or a facility where you can craft this stuff if you're really trying to make the good stuff. And then if we've included a fair amount of these little tidbits in here. This one's pretty funny to me as well. Where you have these guys, you know, blow themselves up essentially. Um,
Mm-hmm.
little
Fix a
stories
flat
about
versus going, yeah,
yeah,
pretty much, yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
like the really portable, quick stuff, minor poisons, whatever, from what you can find around you. But if you really want to refine that and get better healing, whatever wraps, things like that, uh, you get going. It's like thinking like Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
I think when uh, Aragorn gets the uh, King's foil
yep,
for Frodo, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and he basically go find this, chew it up, boom. That's like the quick fix, to slow it down. But he had to actually go somewhere where the elves were
yep,
and get some much better medicine.
yeah,
That's the kind of what we have going on.
yep. And and yeah, I enjoy the fact that we put all these little things in here. There's a bunch of them. Then a lot of these actually, so what, two or three of them came from playtests.
Yeah.
Um, the
Some of them are inspired from other movies.
yeah,
Uh,
we have one that is voiced by, essentially it's the voice. When we thought of it, is it's Christopher Walken. Um, that he's a guy that got left out there in the wilderness
by a goblin.
by a
Just
goblin.
say,
A goblin left him out there.
was it Squeege that left him out there?
I think it was Squeege that left him out there.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, I'm being told by my wife that it was in fact Squeege. And
Yeah.
and yeah, and then it was the party that pushed
Ended
him
up
into
helping
the
him.
river.
Yeah, and sent him back. Sent him back
Sent him
down.
towards the town.
Yeah,
They
because the river ran, from the mountainside towards
yeah,
the town, and they were essentially the party had to go into like a rock troll cave to as part of this lost dwarven hold kind of a thing. And there was a goblin there that was having some issues
what is it?
amongst some other things.
What is it? What is it? He says it's. Let me see if I can do the
Stranded.
voice. It's stranded. I've been searching for an hour now for that goblin that brought me here. It's clear to me now. He's gone.
Yeah.
So, Christopher Walken, if you ever see this, we would love you to actually voice that. That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. Also, if it bothers you, we deeply apologize
Yep.
that the party pushed you down a river.
Anything for the laugh. So I'm not as sorry about it as I should be. It was a pretty fun.
It was an interesting solution to a situation.
It was. I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah. So the system is malleable
Yeah.
because of that nonsense.
So and then here's some of the things that you can craft. This is apprentice level items with the apothecary. And of note, two of my favorite ones on here are my favorite, and I believe Jeremy's favorite as well, is the goblin piss paste.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
Now, it sounds bad when you think about it. Something to understand with us is you have two brothers working together. Now, there is a sense of humor that I think when we were on the podcast, we covered some of it briefly because he asked how that was, how it was working together, and we expanded on it a little bit, but it's yeah, there's a lot of humor that goes into it,
yeah.
and inside jokes, and this is one of those that I don't even remember how it made it into the book. It was just I think you put it in there. I read it.
I put it in there, and I didn't tell you about it. I wanted to see if you'd catch it.
Yeah. And then I was like, I love it. Keep it in there. And you're like, I don't know. Nods and deep. Yeah. Nods and perfect. Yeah. So we've unleashed some of that on the masses. Now, if the humor's not for you, that's fine. Cool. You don't have to use the goblin piss paste. Just know it's a
key ingredient.
It's a key ingredient in many aspiring apothecary.
Yep.
And I think it's even some alchemical concoctions.
Yep. It's
and they only can get it from goblins.
Yeah.
It's a combination of the goblins just manufacture this stuff.
Yeah.
It's very useful.
And if you've ever seen the movie Bulletproof Monk,
that was part of the inspiration too.
Yep, the refined urine is part of that, because that scene where he's like, "Oh yeah, here, put this balm on your hand. Oh, it's nice, fast acting, warming. What is it? Oh, it's whatever. It's made from my own urine. That's nasty. Get it off me." So that's where the refined urine comes from. I thought that was kind of funny.
It's actually a flashbacks to Judge Holden making gun. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And in this, I think it's in one of the health potions. Common.
Yep.
Is it the elixir? It's a healing elixir, or it's a healing thing with the alchemist, I think, isn't it?
It's the apothecary. It's a
master level. Is it something with healing?
Journeyman level. Yeah. Let me pull this back over so you fine people can't see it. You stare at that. You stare at that again. Crafting system. We'll show it. There it is. Right there for you. The Master Balm of Healing.
Oh, master. Yeah, yeah.
And then the blinding gas. If you'll notice,
Yeah, the planning guy. I mean, it's a twofold kind of a thing.
yeah, you know,
It's both the yin and the yang. It
yeah,
depends on how you use it.
So this one just has the refined urine, and then this one has the actual goblin piss paste in it. The
And
blinding
does it
gas.
have the? Oh, it doesn't have that. We didn't add the toad.
No,
That's the other
the
thing
regal toad.
that's in here. That's the joke. The regal toad.
Yeah,
It's I don't remember why. We just added it.
I will pull up the regal toad as well.
We have the artwork for the regal toad, I think, don't we?
We do. I did not include it in the stuff. I have the mountain chicken and the hob rabbit. So you guys will be able to see the artwork for the regal toad and the silk sheep as well.
The regal toad being used, basically, it just works better. You know, makes things work better.
Let me move my camera out of the way so you guys can see that. That's the regal toad. If you look at him, he has a small crown impression on his head. But what makes the regal toad so funny is the statement right here. Goblin assistant Eustace licked the toad in the field, and the toad died. Well, the cause is not evident. Shock, fear, or maybe shame. The target of our experiment is now Eustace. So,
Yeah, yeah,
things
that's a
like
good.
that. And then this, I will highlight this creature.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Here, I got to get the link to the podcast because
yeah.
we talk about the reason this thing exists. I'll let you tell them, but yeah, we talk about that in the podcast.
I asked my daughter, I think she was 8 at the time, 8 or 9, and I asked her, I was like, hey, what's a creature you would like to see in here? You know, it can be a combination of anything. And she was like, what about spiders and sheep? Now, how she came up with combining a spider and a sheep together will haunt me for the rest of my days. But we came up with the silk sheep, which is horrifying. And she signed off on it and said, yep, that works for me. So,
Yeah, it was
yeah, it's gross.
it was something.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then almost last and certainly not least, we have 2 pieces of artwork for you guys. The Hob Rabbit, which is one of our favorites. This guy. He
Yeah, that was we have him right there.
Yeah.
Charles Ferguson Army, Avery
Charles
with
Ferguson.
Feral Indie Studios. Like what? Yeah, it's Feral Indie Studios. He
Yeah.
he's the reason we have like Mountain Chicken, Hob Rabbit,
Yep.
some of these other things.
Yeah. And
So some really great people that are able to take what we give them and they're like, yep, here's your abominations. I'm
Yep.
like, well, thanks.
the Hob Rabbit was inspired by jackrabbits. And then he's got the hands are very people-like. They're excellent for stealing things. You want a dozen of the silk sheep. They're big. They're like the size of a small
elves
ball.
are really the only ones that can handle them.
Yeah. They know what to do to pet the sheep appropriately to get the silk sack off of it.
Yeah,
You can have a Hob Rabbit though.
you don't really want hands.
Yeah, hands. Look at this. Look at right here. They have hands. All right.
Look at those gangly little things.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah. And
have you ever had your like face caressed by like I don't even know how to describe the uncomfortable feeling that this would cause.
Yeah, like an elderly. You think of those like your really elderly grandma. How soft her hands are. That like leather, soft, supple leather feel. That is the like velvet glove hand feeling. That's what that is. That's what their little hands feel like. I want to send that point home. They are creepy.
Yeah,
And
extended digits.
I think it says it in here. Their large eyes, they're thieving and vacant. Slap them, and when you slap them, their heads make this like noise, you know,
The
like a
thumper
coconut.
sound. It's like the
Yeah,
boom. Brrrr.
and it tends to attract other ones, like this weird hollow noise attracts more of them. The In one of our playtests, they actually ran into somebody threw a rock at one or something like that, and they ended up attracting like half a dozen of these things. Which they can turn violent. They're not very strong. I mean, they only got like 3 life. They'll die in a hit, but no,
Yep.
it doesn't have human teeth other than the ones that
Um.
it collects.
Yeah. 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 You know.
So,
we-
you know, nothing
And
says that the
just to be clear, the kids didn't come up with that. We did. We
yeah,
we we
that
did
was
that. That
us.
was us.
That was us. You know, it's just the human teeth comment. Just it encourages your player to sleep with their mouth closed,
Hmm.
lest they wake up to a hob rabbit with its hands, you know, wrist deep in their mouth, trying to haul off and take one of their
Yeah.
teeth.
Dentistry is in its very infancy in Yogath,
Yep.
and it, no one knows more about teeth than hob rabbits. So
Yep.
keep your mouth shut.
And then we have the mountain chicken, which, unlike what a mountain chicken actually is in our world, which is a frog, this is an actual
Yeah,
mountain chicken.
yeah. We
And
saw that we were inspired by the mountain chicken
yep.
thing.
So this
We're like,
is
well, there has to be an obvious mountain chicken. Come on.
yep. And these things are huge. They take down goblins. You know, they're big, highly aggressive. Um,
They're kind of like the moa.
yep. Yep. So they're giant mountain chickens. And that's that's our tidbit for that. And then the last thing to show you is our character sheet, because it's not actually included in the guide at present. It's separate. This is the last revision that we had of it, which was, as you can see, it's from 8.0. But this is what the character sheet roughly looks like. And this is pending updates and stuff once we get there. But this is a place for all your notes inside there. And one of the things we got to do away with is this, because now that doesn't, we don't have that anymore. But we like to keep, information down here essentially as a quick access. So, while the players are looking at it, they can be like, oh, okay, so that's the quality modifiers. Oh, that's my armor modifiers. That's these different things on here to make it really easy for those new players. So
Yeah. So yeah, we try to make the information and space available, and yeah, we're still there's still some revisions that'll probably happen to this.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely. To
Now, if
make
you are a character sheet person, you happen to see this, you're like, oh dear Lord, they need help. Oh, reach out to us. Maybe you can help us.
maybe at present, I designed this thing, and when I did, I thought it looked good, but now that I look at it, I'm not sure. So,
Yep.
uh, but if
It always everything can always be better.
our
I've worked
creatures
in a
would try,
chicken barn for the better part of a decade. I can believe that those horrid creatures would try for a yeah, you know
yeah,
what? It's true.
it's true. We both of us have chickens,
Yep. I've been
and
around chickens for most of my life.
same, and they are
Depending on those
aggressive.
roosters, they will get you when you turn your back.
Absolutely. Zero hesitation.
Can you
Um,
imagine one of these things running at you and then starting to grab a little pebble and dance around you and everything while you're out in the open?
yeah.
I don't want that.
But yeah, that concludes like the Mercs, Mages, and Monster stuff. Essentially, the other stuff that we had that we wanted to show you guys was art that is available on our spread shop. Jeremy, you want to
And this
drop
is
that
by
link in there?
Tina.
Yep.
Yeah, let me get that in there. Because Tina Art did this.
Yep.
I think her commissions are closed
Spreadshirt,
currently though.
Spreadshirt, spread shop. It depending on which link you go to, it says the same thing in different ways.
Yeah, I'll drop in the Bad Toads website because it's
Yeah,
in the bottom.
yeah, do that. That'll work for it. But we have some different art that we have. We have this guy. Uh, which if you're on our Discord, you've seen this guy. This is our Herald, Harold the Herald.
Spokes Toad Herald.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's the one that brings word to our Discord when we post stuff. That's and true to his word, hippity hoppity, he won't stoppity. Um, and then I like this one. He looks in vain for where he asked. You particularly.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but yeah, if folks want to go, they go to we can probably add it in a tag and stuff afterwards if they want to look.
yeah.
But yeah, we
Yeah.
want to, the website has it at the bottom.
Yep. And proceeds go to us and our artwork for Merc's Mages and Monsters. Um, and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. And I would encourage you to shop the sales too. We announce when the sales are on the Discord as well because we know money's tight, so we try and keep sales pretty active and 20% off and stuff like that, or 30%
Yeah, I
off
think
when they
it's
come.
20 or 22%. Is that on Redbubble?
30% off on Redbubble right now.
30%. Okay.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and you can. I know it's winter time, and so the sweatshirts and stuff are nice, but some of those they are
Yeah. And
they are comfy. I can tell you that, and the picture stays on them. I don't know how many times I've washed the one I have, but
yeah.
it's stuck on there pretty good.
And they are. I have one. My wife has one. Kid has one. They are cozy. Probably one of the best hoodies I've actually bought.
They're cozy.
Yeah.
They're really nice and warm and cozy.
But enough of us shilling our products. Do you guys have any questions?
All questions are almost all questions are welcome.
Almost. Well, I guess the only other thing that I would say, before we get any questions in there, is if you are interested in being a playtester, by all means join the Discord. You don't have to be local. We host all of our games through our Discord. We try and do them on weekends and stuff like that to kind of work with people's schedules. So if you're interested in doing that, by all means sign up.
And then go through the steps on there because there's different levels, kind of what you can sign up for, so we don't ping you if you don't want to be part of it.
Appreciate that, Bob. That is encouraging, very encouraging. And especially if you're a brand new player and you're like, hey, like I have no idea what I'm doing, or if you have a friend that you're like, hey, you should get into it. This is an awesome opportunity to like just get in on the ground floor.
We would love to test the uninitiated.
Yeah.
Just because that helps us, because people that haven't played are gonna help us nail down some stuff.
Yep.
So, because sometimes with us playing and everything, we lose sight of, like Kenneth on the podcast thing, but like he said, sometimes you lose sight of these little things.
Yeah.
And things that just you're like, oh, yep, nope, didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that's on your radar anymore. It's kind of intuitive at that point.
Right.
So.
And if you are a playtester, you do come out and you playtest for us. Your name goes in our book as well. It'll be in the back of the book as part of the thank you. All of our playtesters get that. And if we, we're looking at some other potential perks for that as well. For being a playtester, we're still ironing the kinks out for that, but there's potential in there as well. But yeah, by all means, sign up for that. And then, our Kickstarter is going to be in February. So after the holidays coming up next year, our Kickstarter will be launching February 1st. So by all means, keep an eye out for that as well.
And keep an eye out for the pre-launch page. We'll post, post for that and garner some interest there as we continue to these other things. How fast can a character get whipped up? Sounds to me that you might need for a new one. Might be oftenish. Reasonably. Yeah, I would say between 5 and 10 minutes. Sometimes quicker if your table agrees just to do, instead of just doing the roll for the stats. If your whole table, because I do not recommend this for like just individuals to do kind of a thing, but if your whole table agrees, then you can just do the pre-drop numbers.
Yep.
And then you just move them around to whatever stats. Then you already got that. You just choose, what your race class is, add the modifiers, roll your affinity, boom, you're off and running, and then you get your gear package and and depending on how generous your GM is, if they want to start you off at the same level
Yep.
with everyone else with experience, so you can iron that out, or just throw you in as, raw recruit, Jim Bob. They could do that too. That's kind of up to the table. I know have differing opinions on that. Like it could drag some people down and stuff like that. But since health and stuff doesn't really increase, it very rarely will health actually go up in Mercs, Mages, and Monsters. So very rarely is your health going to go up. You're kind of stuck with what you have. And so, you don't have to worry about falling too far behind. It's just how experienced the other players are with their knacks or maybe some talents they may have acquired. Because gear, you can, they may be able to help you out. So, and gear for the most part is what's gonna help you, and then kind of what you bring to the team.
I think after the first time you do it, it definitely is not as intimidating as it looks. I think I can do it in about 5 minutes is all it takes to create a character, and that's with the just assigning my points, my point buy method. If you do the
standard array, I think is what it is.
Standard array or whatever we called it. If you do it that way, it's a little bit faster than you just kind of picking and choosing. But it doesn't take very long. Your backstory, writing your backstory takes longer than that.
And I advise like 2 sentences if you're doing a backstory. Just give them somewhere like, father fell down a staircase, needed to pay for crutches. Now I'm here.
Unless you really, if you really want to get in depth with it, you're like, nope, this character is my ride or die. Like I'm gonna have this dude till the wheels fall off. Then you can write that book for that.
Then please speak with your GM if you do that.
And
as a GM, I advise that you please speak with your GM before you hand him a 15-page document.
Yep.
I want highlights.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill. Thank you.
Well, somebody will. You prepared to die on the field? Well, someone is.
If I kill enough of your characters, you're going to start writing quicker backstories.
Any other questions? Anybody have any other questions? We got, we got a little bit of time. I see we got at least three people hanging out. If you got any questions at all, one from X, and then we got the 2 from Twitch. So, and if not, that's cool too. Just go check out the website, tell your friends. We're still growing. We're in that growing stage. So any word of mouth helps as we try and get this off the ground here.
Yep. Little things that's like Bibble says, fine wares. You can get the any of the goods if there's something there that helps. Kind of while we're getting this off the ground, and it makes us feel good.
It does. It does. It really does. But if you guys have nothing left, then I think we're good on our end. Appreciate you guys coming out. It looks like it was a success for streaming in multiple locations. So high five.
We'll keep doing that. And one person hiding over there on the Twitter or the X, I guess.
Hey, you're
thank
awesome.
you, because you let us know the system is functional.
Yeah, you're awesome. You there in the shadows, the rogue that you are. You stay awesome over there. We appreciate that. But yeah, that's that's a fun hour with Bad Toad Games. Y'all have a good night.
Enjoy yourselves.